Good morning. Hi, everyone. So glad you're here. Welcome. I have some apples, and I have a red apple and a yellow apple and a green apple. I bought them at the store today, and I'm so excited to eat them because I love apples. And I'll show you some other things you can do with apples just a little while. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's do our bread and butter song. So bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello as loudly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello as slowly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello as high as we can. You know what's next? The low. Let's bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello as low as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello like Charlie if we can. Remember, he doesn't even say anything. He says it to himself. And he waves. Wonderful. Let's say, I know. Let's say bonjour. Do you remember what bonjour? What's that? Is that French? Yeah, let's say hello in French. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello in French if we can. Bonjour. How about Hawaiian? Remember what that is? Do you remember? Aloha, yes. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello in Hawaiian if we can. Aloha. And how about in Spanish? I bet you know that one. Hola, yes. Bread and butter, marmalade jam. Let's say hello in Spanish if we can. Hola. That's so fun. Yeah, in different languages, they say hello in different ways. I love it. And some people have a loud hello, and some people say hello really quiet. But it's very important that you say hello so people might know that you're friendly because you're probably really friendly. And when you say hello, it lets them know, hey, I notice you. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, let's go ahead and I wanted to teach you guys a new letter. And this week's letter is H. Ha. The sound of H is ha. And it sounds like this. Honey horse. All right, you have to stand up. Ready? And you get your gallop on like this. And you go ha, ha, ha for the letter H. Ha! You gallop like a horse. A horse kind of runs and they gallop. Ha! Horse. Honey horse. The letter H. And then last week we did the letter G. And we remember what that sounds. The sound of the letter G. Gordy Gorilla peels his banana and he goes g, g, g. How about the first letter we learned? You guys are learning your letters so nice. Eventually, you're going to be reading, and I cannot wait if you know all the sounds of the alphabet. So here is, what letter is this? You guessed it, the letter A. So Allie Alligator likes to make that sound. Ready? Ah, ah, alligator. Ah, Allie. Ah, ah. Let's try another one. You guys remember this one. What is this letter? The letter E. And Ellie Elephant has that trunk and she sways it back and forth. I'll stand up. Back and forth and goes, eh, elephant, eh, egg, eh. The letter E sound. Oh, how about this one? The letter C. You guys are great at this. You're guessing these letters and you know them. What's the sound of the letter C? Katina Cat makes it. Remember? Cat. Katina. Yes. Very fun. I love learning letters with you guys. So important that we learn our letters because once we learn our letters, what's going to happen? You guessed it. You're going to read so many stories and you have lots of adventures when you read. Well, now I want to talk about apples. Okay. Apples, they grow on special trees. Yeah, you guessed it, apple trees. And this is the way that trees start out in the winter. They don't have any leaves. And I have a story about a special kind of tree, the apple tree. And something happens in the end of it that you're going to be so excited about because I want to teach you something that I know that I do with apples. And so that's why I think it's called the apple pie tree. Apple pie tree? Get it? I bet you were thinking about it. So this is written by Zoe Hall and illustrated by Sherry Halprin. And illustrated means that Sherry Halprin drew the pictures and Zoe Hall wrote the story. So together they made the book. So that's what illustrated means. Let's find out what happens. My sister and I have a tree that grows the best part of apple pie. Can you guess what this is? What do you think it is? I bet you guessed it. Apples, right? Yes, the best part of the tree. The apples. Apples, and every year we watch our apple tree grow. In the winter, our apple tree is brown and bare. There's no leaves. But in the spring, the leaves grow on every branch. Look, 2 robins are building a nest in our tree. You better take this one down and look at all the beautiful leaves. And the robins came along and they're going to build a nest. Ooh, what a great place to build a nest. We're not the only ones that like the apple trees. Tiny pink flowers. Flower buds appear on the branches. The robins chirp loudly, guarding their eggs. So tiny pink flowers. I think they call these blossoms. When the apple tree is having its blossoming time, all these little pink, this happens in the spring, the beautiful flowers come out on the tree, and they call that blossoms. Just when the flower buds open, baby robins break through the eggshells. Oh, they're hungry. Their mama is feeding them, right? She's very nice. What a kind mama. They're lucky they have that mama to feed them. Now our tree is covered with blossoms, and the baby robins begin to grow feathers. Oh, and there's butterflies. What else do you notice on this tree? Do you see something else? The bees, a very important part of an apple tree. When the blossoms come out and the flowers come, the bees also come and they land on the flowers to get the nectar. And they go from flower to flower, leaving pollen on each flower. I'll let you know more about that because they're very, very important. Yes, it's an important part of growing your fruit on the tree. When breezes blow, the petals fall to the ground, and Mama and Papa Robin teach their birds to fly. How fun. So the petals are going away, the flowers are falling off. I wonder what happens next to the apple tree. Some days it rains and the wind blows hard, but our apple tree is strong and the robins are safe in the branches. Oh, I am so glad we have apple trees for those robins. Not only they're great for us to have apples, but they're great for robins to live in. Woo, love it. Small green apples grow where the blossoms used to be. Oh, the apples are growing. Green apples are popping up on our tree everywhere. And the robins are happy, and the children are happy, and the farmer's happy because he has the apples. Soon it's summer. The apples get bigger and bigger, and the little robins have grown up, but they visit every day. The branches bend down low. Oh, they're getting heavier and heavier. Our branches are bending because the apples are so big. And the apples are turning red. Green apples are okay too because they're just not quite ripe. And they're kind of a different kind of apple. The branches bend down low and they are covered with big round apples. Now it is autumn and the apples are red and ready to be picked. We fill our basket to the brim. Mom and Dad help us peel the apples, cut them up, and pile them into a pie shell. Then we sprinkle cinnamon and sugar over the top, and Mom puts the pan in the oven. What a great idea! At last, the pie is cooked and ready to be eaten. Our tree has grown an apple pie. What? How did that happen? Our tree grew an apple pie. How fun. It smells so good. And it tastes delicious. There's nothing as good as an apple pie. And you grew yourself. I think that's fantastic idea. It really is. So remember the bees and they were spreading the pollen? Well, this in the back of the story, it talks about it. And it says, how bees help our apples grow. We have pollen and we have nectar in the flower. Inside each flower are tiny stems, some tipped with yellow pollen and some with sticky tops. Nectar deep inside the sweet, smells so sweet. The bright petals and the sweet nectar attract the bees. Here they come. They go to the flower. Pollen collects on the bees' bodies. And then the bees travel from flower to flower. As the bees fly from flower to flower, the pollen clings to the sticky tops. This is called pollination. An apple begins to grow and the petals fall off and the base of the flower begins to swell. This is the beginning of the apple. So I just want to say that it's very important that we protect our bees, you guys, because we want to keep having apples and fruit and vegetables. So without the bees, we can't get it. We won't be able to have all the wonderful, yummy fruit and vegetables. So please, please remember, always protect the bees. Not the wasps that sting, the bumblebees. They spread the pollen around and pollinate the flower, the trees and the fruit and the vegetables. So that is a really important thing. Well, guess what? I think it's time to sing a song about apples. And I love this song. It's kind of like the Wheels on the Bus. It's the same tune as the Wheels on the Bus. And the apples in the tree. Okay, so ready? The apples in the trees live way up high, way up high, way up high. The apples in the trees live way up high. Now we pick them. And the apples in the trees are different colors, different colors, different colors. The apples in the trees are different colors. Red, let's see, what colors? Red, green, and yellow. Very nice. The apples in the trees are yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. The apples in the trees are yum, yum, yum. Now we eat them. I can't wait to eat them. I'm going to have them for lunch. And something else that we can eat, okay? I'm going to show you how to make your own apple pie. And you can do it with your mom or dad. Oh, it's going to be so fun, you guys. What I did, first thing, I got me a pan that looks like this. You see these little muffin pans? Okay, you could do that and then have an adult spray some, it's so that your apple pie doesn't stick and you can spray it all over the pan. I bet you could ask an adult and they would know what we're talking about. And then the next thing you do is I'm going to set this over here. And what you do next, I bought this at the store, okay? This morning I went to the store. It's just a little biscuit, pre-made biscuit. You can get that at the store. Ask an adult, and they probably could help you find it at the store. Well, you open it up, and inside is a nice little biscuit. And you can make your own apple pie. This is what we call a rolling pin. And so you take your biscuit. I'm going to set that over there so I don't knock it off. And I have a little holder that I'm going to roll it out. Okay, and you're going to roll this pie nice and wide. Okay, roll your biscuit and nice and flat, okay? That's important because you want it nice and flat. And then if you pick it up, see, it's nice and flat. Then I'll take my pan and I'm going to spread it, push it in here, and just push it down in the bottom. Can you see how I'm pushing that? So it kind of makes a little pie looking. You can pinch your edges if you would like, or you don't have to, but you have a little hole in your pie, okay? And then you take, this is so yummy. It's a can of apples, but you don't have to, you can cut your own apples and make your own pie, but I just bought the can just because it was easier. But you can do whatever you want. It's your pie. And so I take a little tiny bit and I put it inside of here. And do you see the little pie there? There he is. I'm going to fill him up. Okay. See how he's full? Yeah. Now, what was the other thing they did in our story? They took some cinnamon and sugar, remember? And they sprinkled on top. Yes, and you can use as much or as little as you want. If you use too much, then it's kind of sweet and it's really not good for you. Just a little bit of sugar. All right, so there you have. Now you can fill up because I have more biscuits and my friends at lunch, I think I'm going to make these for them. Yeah, so you can make them for your family or your friends, and you can make as many as your parent or somebody who's helping wants you to. But you can feed everybody apple pie if you'd like, and you can say, I made it all by myself. And so here we have our apple pie dough. Yay! I'm going to make it one more, and then I'm going to keep making some after we get off here. But I want to sing our goodbye song. So you can tell me if you make your pie. I would love to know that. And there you have. You can fill it all up with yummy pie. And then you have to bake it. You have to be patient, and very patient. You bake it on 350 for about 16-20 minutes, something depending, and then it's yummy, yummy apple pie. So there you have the wonderful apple pie that we read about in our story. Yay! All right, guys, let's go ahead and sing. I'm very glad you came. I think we'll get Charlie to sing with us because he loves, oh, look at him. He is clapping. He just loves to sing. And he's waving at you guys. Oh, he loves you so much. Yes. Here we go. Ready? I'm very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. I'm very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. Glad you came. I'm glad you came. Very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. Wonderful. Thank you for coming, everyone. I love you so much, and I'm so glad we learned about our apple pie and our apples growing on the trees. And remember, keep those bees safe so we can have lots of apples every year. All right, bye-bye. Thanks for coming.